Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is quite unusual today because I've started this video once already, but for whatever reason my camera didn't record. And you know, in a way it's not a surprise because for the past few days I've been trying to complete my monthly love readings that I do for the birth signs and the sun signs and I've just not been able to get to do them because my energy's been all over the place, literally all over the place, and each time I sat down to do them I couldn't do them. I know I'm not alone in this because I know other readers who have had similar problems. So this morning I sat down again to do the love readings, but I could not get the divine masculine out of my head. You know, it's been with me since I woke up, and it's not unusual for his energy to be with me, to be honest, because you know I'm in a twin flame situation as you are. But today was different, and it felt like there was a message for the collective that needed to be told. The divine masculine wants you to know what's happening with him, divine femmes. But of course, I started the reading, and it was all flowing, and I glanced at the camera and realised that it had stopped recording. So fingers crossed for this reading. I've started it again, but what I've done is left the first 4 cards out that I drew in the first attempt because these are very significant and this is a very clear message that he wants you to receive. The divine masculine for a while now has not been feeling good. He's been feeling quite down. I hesitate to use the word depressed, but he has been feeling very low. He hasn't known which way to go or what to do. He's been battling with some behaviours or some addictions that aren't in his best interest, you know. So it may be that your divine masculine has, because, you know, he's on an emotional low, it may be that he's been drinking a lot. I say he, it's not gender specific, so please take it as it fits your circumstances. But you know, it may be that he's been drinking a lot. He may have been using some form of substance. He may have been gambling, whatever addiction he you know is his thing. He's been battling with that. But the message today, and the reason why I left these 4 cards, which is really unusual because I always shuffle in front of camera, but this is a very clear message. Looks like the divine masculine wants you to know that he's receiving help. He's either receiving this help or he's seeking this help, and we will clarify in a moment. But you know, there's a partnership here of support, okay? And because we've also got this card, the card of wisdom, this looks like your divine masculine may be seeking out some sort of professional help, okay? You know, we have the card of wisdom. We have this person here who, you know, people are looking up to, even the dog's looking up to them. They're carrying a book. The sun is shining around them. You know, this is a person of influence. So someone in your divine masculine circle is helping them with the way they're feeling, and maybe they're seeking help around some form of addiction that has been pulling them down. And what I find really heartwarming is that the divine masculine had this clear message to send to divine femmes. They want you to know that they are recognising that they need to work on themselves, they need to improve things to make them feel better. And, you know, they wanted to show you that they're moving in the right direction in order to heal themselves. So I love that. I'm going to pull some more of these before I go through with some clarifiers because this is really important. Spirit didn't want me to stop at 4 cards. They said to me 8 earlier, which is also a number of completion. So let's see what the other 4 bring. Is that 4? They've given us 3 here, but there'll be another one. Yeah, there's big changes. We have the card of disruption, which is a card to signify major changes. Gosh, Yes, there's been a lot of mental conflict. Oh my goodness. And, you know, the Divine Masculine's been missing you tremendously. I will go through those in a second. Let me just get the final card. Oh, wow. No wonder I had to read this today. So, you know, here he is saying to you that he's coming out of this very negative sort of downward spiral he was in. He's seeking help to move things forward so that he can make the changes that are necessary, because he wants to get out of this mental conflict that he's in. He's realising, Divine Femmes, that he's actually missing you tremendously, you know. I think in the past there was some Divine Masculines that were sort of brushing it aside and pretending that it wasn't happening. They were like wearing a mask in their current circumstances and denying the connection with the Divine Feminine because they didn't understand it. But what they've realised is that's what was bringing them mental conflict. You know, they realise now how much they're missing you, which is why they're putting this process in order. They've found the strength to put this process in order, to reach out for help from someone professional. This could be a friend. It could be a friend that is stable and can give good advice. But I think it's more than that. I'm picking up a professional energy today. And I do feel it's a professional energy in relation to whatever this is here, you know, whatever addiction or behaviour is getting in the way of their happiness. And they've done it so that they can make these major changes. Interesting. Right, I'm going to just go through and bring up some clarifiers, see if we can get any more information. Although that seems very straightforward, it's quite a succinct message, but they, as I say, it's been on my mind since the moment I woke up, so it was obviously important. They wanted you to know this. Let's pull these first. I want to go with tarot in a moment, but I'm going to do two lots of clarifiers, I think, even though it's quite succinct, but I want to make sure. Which one is it, Spirit, please? Okay, that's the second one, that's the first one. All right, let's see what these are. Say no. Yeah, Divine Masculine has had enough of feeling depressed, of feeling down, and not living his best life, you know? So he's saying no. There's also a part of him that knows that unless he addresses this feeling, unless he sort of steps up, as you can see in this picture, he can see you walking away. He feels that it was the way he behaved that has made him lose you. Because some of the Divine Masculines at the moment are feeling like their Divine Feminine has walked away from them. And that could simply be that the Divine Masculine hasn't been in contact for a long time, or the Divine Masculine, you know, hasn't done his bit. But in his head, he feels he's losing you, you know. So he's had enough of this situation and he's decided that it's about time he did something about it. Yeah, he's ready to open his heart to you, okay? But he knows that he's got to be in top form, and that's not because you're demanding it, Divine Femme. It's because, you know, in a twin flame union, that's what's expected. You are expected to have done your development work yourself before you can be brought into alignment. And I do feel like he's been going through... and we've said this before, a lot of Divine Masculines are going through a huge awakening and have been in the last few months. And now he's realising, it's like these light bulb moments that they keep getting at the moment, that if he, you know, loses himself in behaviours that aren't serving him, then he's not going to be in a position to open his heart fully, you know? Because part of his soul is being dragged away into these behaviours which aren't doing him any good. So there's been a huge awareness, you know, coming up for the Divine Masculines at the moment. Let's see what this partnership is about. Why is the partnership here, Spirit, please? Yeah, he's sought help because he's obsessing. They've just said the word obsessing about lots of little things that don't matter. So it may well be that while he's been feeling so down, he's noticed that he's becoming very tetchy, very irritable with people, that small things are really upsetting him and annoying him. And maybe, you know, it's been a wake-up call that he's realising that he's actually, you know, not where he should be emotionally, you know, for his own good. And this is what has driven him to actually seek some help at the moment. Let's see who this person is. What else can you tell us about this person, please? This wisdom card. I do think it's a person. It could just be he's reached the point of realising that he needs help. So he may not have actually sought it yet. That's the next one. Okay. You know, he's realised that life is a lot better when he feels happy. But he's almost scared to be happy because he feels like he let you down, Divine Feminine. You know? And these are the issues that maybe he's talking through with somebody, you know, when they're looking at root causes of addiction maybe, or maybe he's just, you know, speaking to somebody, as I say, a much more stable friend who hasn't got an agenda, which is a bit tricky sometimes. But, you know, I did get the feeling this was a professional person, but this is the thing that they're discussing, you know. He wants his life to be happier, but he doesn't feel he deserves it somehow because of things that have happened in the past. So there's a lot for him to work through there. As I say, it could be that he has recognised, he's now developed a wisdom that he's recognised he needs to make these changes and therefore he needs help to do it. So he could be at that stage for some of the Divine Masculines, but for others, I think that's already happened and he sought some sort of help. And that may not be public. You know, his friends and family, for example, may not even know about it, you know, but this is a major step forward, which is why we've got this card of disruption here. But yeah, look, celebrate you, you know. He wants to feel a lot better about himself. He wants to dare to be happy again. He wants to get his, you know, self-belief, self-esteem back. He wants to make that change in himself. He wants to feel proud to be able to step towards you, Divine Feminine, and tell you, you know, how he feels, to really step up, because, you know, the way he's feeling at the moment and the way he has been feeling, it's almost like he's been hiding away because he didn't feel worthy, you know. I love this because this is a really positive step forward for the Divine Masculine, you know, and anything that affects the Divine Masculine affects the Divine Feminine too, and vice versa. So, you know, this is why I'm always harping on about Divine Feminines. Make sure you try and keep your energy as positive as you can, even if you're, you know, missing your Divine Masculine terribly, because, you know, the energies are shared between you. You're one twin soul. Let's see what this mental conflict card is doing here, please. Spirit, why do we have the mental conflict card, please? Is it that one? Yeah, gosh. You know, he's really wanting to lift his energy. And it may be that if you've been very down recently, Divine Femme, and I know I've been through some really low moods recently, that I think, you know, he's picking up your energy also, you know, because as I've just said, we share energy. So, you know, if one of you is feeling really down, the other one is going to pick up on that, and vice versa. So the Divine Masculine is fed up feeling like that. He just wants things to be happy. He wants to feel a lot better because he feels he's missing out on life because he's so down. And he's taking great steps to address this, which is brilliant. Spirit, why is emotional loss here, please? Yeah, this is what it's all about. This is his realization. This is his awakening, Divine Femmes, because, you know, he has been missing you tremendously, and he realizes now that the root cause of his emotional withdrawal and his distress is the fact that he is missing his Divine Feminine. And he may have only just realized that you are the Divine Feminine, you know. He may have dismissed you before, but he's now realizing the importance you have. He may have been doing some research around twin flames, I don't know, but he's actually recognizing that you are the root cause of his feelings of emotional loss, and he wants to start anew. So this is about him feeling better, and there's almost an excitement about it, because he feels if he feels better and he gets back on top of things, then he stands a better opportunity of starting anew with his Divine Femme. You know, this is what he wants. Hence the reason we have the card of light at the end here. You know, we have, I must stop saying you know, but I do it all the time. Yeah, he wants to be in a happier, brighter place. You are his shining light, Divine Femme. He has awoken to realizing that you are the light of his life. And that's such a cliche, that expression, but it's so important. He doesn't want anything to stop this energy, you know? And he feels at the moment, the way he's been feeling and the way that maybe he's behaved in the past, he's feeling that, you know, he doesn't want, he feels, sorry, words, they're talking to me in my head at the same time and I've got my words muddled up. So what he's wanting is for this process to work towards this new start and being in the light with you, Divine Femme, because, you know, at the moment he recognizes that his behavior, it's almost like this addiction is portrayed here with a shark fin, you know. And he realises, and I'm not blaming everything on the addiction, I just think that was a part of who he was at the time because of how he was feeling. But he is seeing that as a major negative that is stopping him from getting to the light. And he feels that people are watching him. For some reason, this Divine Masculine feels under a lot of pressure. He feels that there's a lot of people around him watching him. And, you know, he doesn't want his reputation, they've just said, to be that of somebody who's in this dark place. He wants his reputation to be someone who's in the light, because that's the only way that's the only way he feels he's going to be able to start anew with you, Divine Femme. That is a really, really positive read. I'm going to pull some tarot. I don't think at this stage we really need them, but for some reason I'm drawn to pull them, so there may well be another message that needs to come out. So, let's just get, can we have one card for each, please, Spirit? This one. Yeah, I mean, look at this. So we had him in emotional withdrawal. We had him being fearful that, you know, the way he was feeling is making you move away from him. And maybe the way he's reflecting on the way that he behaved in the past, maybe. And he's feeling that he's losing you. And he sees you as somebody who is loving, who is nurturing, who is tender, who, you know, didn't deserve to be treated in the way they were treated. And, you know, he's recognizing that now. He's realizing the impact of how things have been and what's happened in the past. So, excuse me, this is why he's looking to address things. So, what do we have here? He wants to be your emperor. He wants to be all you want him to be. So, you know, he wants to stand tall. He wants you to be proud of him. He wants to be, you know, in charge of everything. He wants to be confident. He wants to help you feel safe and secure. You know, all those things that he believes his Queen of Cups requires from him. And that is what he's aspiring to. That is his driving force for making these changes. So why? Oh, they're ahead of me again. Gosh, it's hot in here, sorry. Yeah, so we have the Nine of Cups here. You know, he wants to, I think in the past, he's been worrying that he hasn't got enough to offer you. I think he's feeling in a lot of a stronger position now. And it may be that his work is improving, or, you know, he just feels more stable about things. And he feels that, you know, he's got something behind him now. It doesn't have to be money, it doesn't have to be material things, but it's just, you know, maybe having begun to work through how he's feeling means that, you know, he can put some his accomplishments behind him and recognize the things he has achieved rather than being so down on himself, you know, because there's definitely, he's been worrying. I say these are the feelings of, you know, lack of self-worth that have been showing themselves. And here, you know, he's sitting here feeling proud about his achievements. So this work that he is doing or is about to do is really going to help turn around his feelings of self-worth, which again is fantastic, because that's going to help him feel more confident in approaching you. Why do we have wisdom and dare to be happy here, please? Spirit. Yeah, you see, in the past, he hasn't dared to be happy. We have the Ten of Swords here. And, you know, he just has felt so low and felt that people were out to get him, felt like he'd been stabbed in the back multiple times. As you can see, it's a very graphic description here. You know, he felt like life was a major, major struggle. And, you know, he just hasn't found his happy place, you know. He hasn't found the happy place within, let alone in the outside world. And so this is why, you know, he's getting this help to actually step forward and daring to be happy, you know, because in the past he's questioned whether or not he can even pick himself up. But now he's saying, do you know what? This is my best chance. I'm not prepared to lose my Queen of Cups, my Empress. We haven't got the Empress on the table yet, but, you know, he's seeing you as very loving, nurturing energy here. She's not the Queen of Cups, actually. That's an interesting thing that I said. Now, I've been talking about this as the Queen of Cups because that's the energy that I felt from it. But what he wants is to restart. It's an Ace of Cups. How odd. He does see you as his Queen of Cups. You are his Empress, actually, but he sees you in Queen of Cups energy because of your personality traits. He sees you as loving, caring, gentle, but this is about him wanting to start a loving relationship with you. So, you know, he's worried that he's losing you, and, you know, he wants to bring you back before or start the relationship with you before you go further away, Divine Femme. How interesting that I mistook that for the Queen of Cups, because that is the energy I'm feeling. That's how he perceives you. So let's go on to celebrate you in these big changes. What are these big changes that he wants to make, please? What's the disruption in the celebrate you, Spirit? Yeah, there are big changes to be made here, and he wants to balance out things that have happened in the past. You know, he at one time in his life, he felt he was juggling a lot of things. He felt like, you know, he was having major lows and major highs, and he actually wants to even that out. You know, he wants a much more balanced approach to life, and he wants you to be part of it. And he knows that, you know, he has to balance out these energies, as we said before, because while he's feeling in so much negativity, you know, things aren't going to be as he wants them to be, and he's not going to be in a position to start a loving relationship if he feels he has nothing to give. So the fact that he's working on this is just, you know, music to my ears, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, he's eager to sort of end this mental conflict, to just enjoy life. And he just wants to come rushing in. He wants to come rushing in. You see this card is heading towards the new start. He's eager to have a new start with you, Divine Femme. Very eager, and he wants to cut through all the obstacles and come rushing in. The Knight of Swords comes at high speed. So it could be happening fairly quickly. You know, that's his intention. You know, it may have been that he's been working on this for a while. It just depends on your Divine Masculine and where they are at in the timeline. But in actual fact, you know, he's of the mindset that once he feels more balanced about things, you know, and he feels he's really got a grip of things, he's actually going to come rushing in to claim his Divine Feminine. So be prepared, Divine Feminine. Be prepared. So what's this new start, please? Yeah, wow. Wow. The old behaviours are going to come crashing down. And I don't, you know, I don't necessarily mean addictions. I just mean the way things were is not going to be how it is going forward, Divine Femmes. Because, you know, he's ridding himself. Gosh, I can't pick the card up. I must grow my nails. You know, it's not going to be that he's sitting there thinking, oh, you know, I wish it had been like this, or I wish it had been like that, and I should have done this, and I should have done that. You know, he's sorting himself out to be able to feel more confident to step forward. And he knows that this new start has got to be different to how it was before. Otherwise, his Divine Femme is going to keep walking, you know. I did a Divine Masculine reading recently where he was, I think it was last week, where he was determined to get things right before he contacted you. Well, now we have more detail on what it is he wants to get right. He's clearly working on himself, working on his self-esteem, feeling more confident in order to be able to step forward. So things, the old way of being is going to come crashing down. It's not going to be as it was before. Whatever's going to replace it is going to be so much better. So let's see what this final card is here. He doesn't want people to see him in shark energy anymore, you know? He doesn't want all these people making judgments about him and you know, telling him, keeping him stuck, in that negative energy. He wants to be in the light with his Divine Femme. So let's see what Spirit give us after this breakdown of the old. What comes next then, Spirit, please? Wow. Okay. This is how he's envisaging the future. He's looking at relaxed energy, at peace energy, you know, everything calm, everything under control, everything peaceful. But equally, he sees this as being an abundant life. You know, the trees are laden with fruit, laden with pentacles. So, you know, he sees this way forward following the tower as life being abundant. And it's not necessarily, yes, it's a Pentacles card, but it's not necessarily about material life, although, you know, he does feel that you and he could build an excellent future together. But it's more about the feeling of security and stability that brings, hence the relaxed energy here, you know? It's more about him feeling that he's brought his spirit home, his soul home, I should have said. You know, to feel that inner peace, that's where the abundance comes in. That's how he wants his life to be. If you look at the difference from that energy to this energy, this is what he's aspiring to. And he feels that he will reach that when he's with you, Divine Femme, which is why he's gearing himself up to approach you for this new start. And it will be different because the Tower card comes to clear out what was, okay? So, you know, that will crash and burn, basically, and that's when the new life can come in. So he's really ready to let go of that energy, you know, really ready to let go of that energy where people are keeping him stuck because that's who they expect him to be. And he's ready to welcome in the light. I love that. I am so pleased that I went ahead with this reading today. I didn't really have any choice because my other readings that I wanted to complete today had to wait because this was such a burning message that came through that, I felt I had to pass this on now. And I'm so pleased I did, because it's so good to see the Divine Masculine moving from, all the work that he's done on himself to move himself forward is just fabulous. Honestly, I'm so pleased. Okay, Divine Femmes, I'm going to leave it there. If you enjoyed the reading, please, as always, tick like. Subscriber numbers, I think, was it your reading last week? I said, I can't wait, my subscriber numbers. I think I was aiming for 200 last week. I am now, would you believe, where am I at now? 281. So this weekend's mission is 300 subscribers, Divine Femmes. Just in case you haven't already clicked the button. But, brand new channel. It's what, 3.5 months old, something like that. And, it's steadily building, and I'm loving all your comments. It's so great when I'm doing these readings and I know that there's people out there that are sort of interacting. It's great. Anyway, take this message as it resonates with you, and please join and support the channel in any way you can. I really, really appreciate it. And I will be doing another reading either later today or possibly tomorrow regarding the Divine Masculine and his feelings towards the Divine Feminine. Okay, so there'll be a second one. So this was almost like a bonus read, really. All right, I will speak to you very soon, Divine Femmes, and have a gorgeous weekend. Take care. Bye.